Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg. I'm back again for another J.G. Ballard story. My video on The Wind from Nowhere has been incredibly popular lately. So, hey, I wanted to read more Ballard anyway and report on all of Ballard, so I'm continuing to crank these things out. So this is number 43. This is number 43. I've done 40, well, I haven't done a total of 43 videos. This is number 43 in his bibliography. And the story here is The Screen Game. It's one of the Vermillion Sands series, which I have read and reported on others in the series already. It was published in the October 1963 issue of Fantastic Stories of Imagination. And in this case, unlike the last Ballard story that was in Fantastic, this one got the cover and got an illustration by Ed Emshwiller, who was one of the premier illustrators back then. And I like his work. Some people have been ripping on him. Yeah, there's some of his, especially paperback novel illustrations that were kind of not so good, but for the most part, Emshwiller was the most imaginative and poetic of the illustrators of the 1950s and 1960s. He did a very large number of illustrations, and when he stopped illustrating, he was still alive at the time he stopped illustrating. He stopped illustrating to start doing experimental videos at a time before YouTube and before digital video. He was doing experimental videos. And he did one, Relativity, that won all kinds of awards and is considered to be a great classic of experimental video. And it's a really cool video. You probably saw it when you were in school. They show it in a lot of school classes, especially in science classes. Anyway, this is Ed Emshwiller's illustration for The Screen Game, and this is a J.G. Ballard story. So if this illustration looks really, really weird, it's because the story is really, really weird. This is a pretty literal illustration of what goes on in the story. Okay? And Emshwiller did a really good job at capturing a moment from the story, kind of literally, but still capturing it in a way that gives a sense of the surrealism and the poetic nature of Ballard's story. A very surrealistic story, kind of fantastic, yet definitely science fiction, being in Vermillion Sands. Vermillion Sands is this fictional place in the desert based on Palm Springs, California, place where all the rich go to play, except then they stop going there and it falls into decay. And so there's all this stuff that's there that is abandoned and these weird things going on. There are some people that, because when it starts falling into decay, the houses get real cheap, so people are buying them because they're cheap and they're big and they're loving that. And so these different personalities go and do different things in the Vermillion Sands area. In this particular story, a filmmaker goes to Vermillion Sands to make his film, an experimental art house film. But the real reason behind him doing this film is that the house where he's going to film at in Vermillion Sands, his sister's still living there. She won't leave. She will not leave. She will not come out of the house. So he's going there to try to get her to come out of the house because he is pushing at her to be in his film. And his film involves these screens. The filmmaker hires an artist, and the artist is the narrator of the story. It's told from his perspective. The filmmaker hires an artist to paint these screens with these zodiac signs on. And the screens are set up in a way that they're movable. And she gets dressed up and walks through these screens. And the screens are psychologically meant to make her feel more comfortable about coming out of the house. What she does at the house is she captures these insects, mantises, scorpions, deadly insects, spiders. She captures them and doesn't get hurt by them, but she implants jewels, precious stones in their bodies, in their exoskeletons. So there's all these, and all these insects are like pets for her. They follow her around. They stay with her. And they go after anybody that seems threatening to her. And this is the gist of the story. I'm kind of spoiling it, but not really, because the reason to read this story is how beautiful the descriptions are, how beautiful the imagery is, how poetic the whole thing is, how interesting the psychology of this woman is. There is a twist ending that I'm not spoiling that is fascinating. This is another really brilliant surrealistic fantasy science fiction story by J.G. Ballard. What Ballard can, Ballard does something here that nobody at this time was capable of doing and pulling off and making it work well. And Ballard makes it work with pure genius. This is a great story. This is a top tale. Okay. This is one that I just recommend everybody just go and read. It's that cool, that beautiful, that good. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would read it and think, I don't like this. Give me my military sci-fi or give me my Brandon Sanderson. But, for everybody else that has a brain and loves literature, The Screen Game by J.G. Ballard. So I'm going to stop talking about that. Go out and read it. It's worth it. It's great. Look it up. It's in that issue of Fantastic, and it's in the complete short stories of J.G. Ballard. And it's in some other of his books too. So other of his collections, including all the different editions of the Vermillion Sands collection. That's the best place to get it. So go out and read it. And come on back and leave comments, or if you've already read it, leave your comments. Tell me what you think of this Screen Game. Do you think I'm right? Do you think you think I'm doing drugs? Do you think I've worked too hard today? Leave your comments and come on back. The next J.G. Ballard is titled Time of Passage. That'll be number 44 in my bibliography. I'll get to that as soon as I can. By the way, the Screen Game was a novelette. I didn't mention that earlier. I think that's important. It's not a super short story. It's a little longer, so you get a little more for your money here. And, come on back for that and everything else that we do here on Telltale Books.